week on Outdoors Delmarva, we're winging it with some opening day dove hunters. Tag along for a day in the field.
Plus, he caught the big one, and now we catch up with the winner of this year's White Marlin Open. See the exclusive video from aboard the boat.
And check out a tree that definitely measures up. Learn about the effort to get more champion trees on the list.
Plus, viewer photos and your chance to win this Perception Sound 10 kayak package from Survival Products. Right now on Outdoors Delmarva.
Hi everybody and welcome to Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker.
And I'm Captain Willie Dykes. Thanks for joining us.
Outdoors Delmarva shines a spotlight on the people and the places that make our area an outdoor enthusiast paradise.
And each week, Mike and I will take you to new adventures from all corners of Delmarva.
And we've got a great show this week. Willie, I'll be spending some time with hunters out in the field, and you, well, you'll be meeting up with one of the area's luckiest offshore anglers.
You bet.
All right, we'll be catching up with you in just a few minutes. Well, some of the early hunting seasons are already underway with dove hunters enjoying their sport in Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia, and there's no time to waste. I spent a day alongside some hunters for some opening day action.
There he is. He did get him.
On a scorcher of a day in Caroline County, I arrived at our opening day hunting spot just in time.
All right, got the first dove of the season. All right.
Hunter Jim Meter is an opening day regular here with the guides from Schrader's Hunting. And if a bird in the hand is worth anything, then I figured it was worth a shot to share the tree line with him for a few hours.
Well, good. I was lucky enough to see the one bird that flew in this field so far. Hopefully, though, it'll turn on here in a second.
Dove hunting is a little more casual than, say, deer hunting or turkey hunting. Sure, camo helps you blend in a bit with the trees and burned out sunflower patches, but being super quiet isn't really required.
Sure. Thank you.
And passing birds aren't easily spooked by guys walking or even driving up and down the line.
You got the hot spot.
Yeah. I looked over there and I seen him the same time you said got him. There, that's good. I hate not to get him.
Distraction after the shot is what you want to avoid.
Look at this.
And keeping an eye on where a downed bird falls is critical.
Yeah, he touched down right out in here, but till you lay eyes right on him.
Turns out, I'm not a bad wingman.
I kind of thought when I ran out there, look at you're the best. Stone good too.
Around dove number 5, Jim's luck is starting to stand out to other hunters who haven't even fired a shot yet, and he becomes the target of some friendly ribbing.
There he is. Oh, that's not such a big bird. I'd be embarrassed about that. We should let that go.
Enjoy yourself. That's part of the hunt, part of the fun. That's all about hunting. It's not always about killing anything. Just enjoy with a couple of friends and everything. That's what it's all about.
Yep. Just the start of a new fall season.
They'll come flying over. They're pretty hard to hit. You know, it takes a good wing shooter to get on them pretty good.
Yes, that's what we're after. Did you get that one?
What'd you say?
Did you get that one on?
I think I got it.
Oh, he isn't going to be fit.
But as the afternoon presses on, shooting around us finally begins to pick up, and other hunters are starting to bag some birds as well.
Did you get one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave
Got
this
one
stuff
bird.
in and go
Show
get
him the
the
bird.
party.
Oh.
Give me your gun, okay. There you go.
Our little pet.
But Jim's place in the shade is still the hot spot. And ending the day with the double is just about as good as it gets on opening day.
There it is. Appeared out of nowhere.
You've seen them.
How am I going to see these after you go?
And we'll be doing plenty more of that kind of stuff in the weeks to come. Still to come on Outdoors Delmarva this week, Captain Willie spends time with the winner of this year's White Marlin Open and see exclusive video from aboard the winning boat. And later, don't miss your chance to win this Perception Sound 10 kayak package from Survival Products. But first,
Cause Marine Insurance asks, did you know?
The mourning dove is also recognized by another name. Can you guess it? The answer when we come back.
Outdoors Delmarva is brought to you by Survival Products, Lewis Harbor Marina, and Delmarvalist.com. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
Did you know? The mourning dove is also recognized as the Carolina turtle dove.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Captain Willie Dykes. You know, it's possibly the most well-known offshore fishing tournament in our area. And with big money on the line, the White Marlin Open draws hundreds of top anglers from far and wide. But we didn't have to go very far to spend some time with this year's big winner.
You know, when I got actually physically to the scales and, you know, everything was going on and we actually looked up and, you know, found out that we were in first place, you know, it was totally a dream come true.
And for Brian Roberts, it's a moment he'll never forget.
It's awesome.
Over the years, a lot of anglers have weighed in a first-place fish, but only those who hold on to the lead are crowned champions.
There's actually at the scale, that's the whole crew.
Brian's 5th year in the White Marlin Open was a charm, but it's a journey that began long ago.
It's been a total dream. I mean, as a kid, I remember my family coming down to the beach and actually, you know, just going to look at the scales and watching those fish go up and just saying, wow, something I want to do.
Now that he has, this angler from Worcester County gives all the credit to his team. This is video taken aboard the Shelley II on that fateful day. On the second day of fishing near Accomack Canyon, Brian hooks up with a 97.5-pound marlin, and he gave Outdoors Delmarva the play-by-play.
Well, the play-by-play, you know, when we actually hooked the fish, he came up on what we call a dredge, and it was a mullet dredge, and the fish was all in the dredge. I mean, he was only 20 feet behind the boat, and I could see him lit up. You know, he's purple and blue.
Want to get them swimming, keep them swimming with the boat. Perfect, what you just did. Do it again. Do it again.
Grabbed what we call a pitch bait rod and dropped the pitch bait back to the fish, sped it up. He grabbed it and actually dragged me into the dredge, and I was able to get the bait back out of the fish's mouth without hooking him. And it got through the dredge. I don't know how he did it. Dropped it back again, and sped it up a little bit faster than the surface. Looked like a fish moving away from the school, and the marlin came back and crashed on it and took off, so it was awesome.
Save the remora! Save the remora!
After a 45-minute fight, the marlin is on the boat, and the crew of the Shelley II can't wait to get the fish back to the scales in Ocean City.
Get him on ice. Body bag. Nice job, Brian.
We knew exactly it was a winner. I mean, we felt it was a winner. I mean, it was the biggest marlin we've ever hooked, seen, brought to the boat, so it was definitely huge.
At week's end, it wasn't only a winner, but also the second largest white marlin ever caught in the tournament's 37-year history. earning the winners a purse of more than $850,000. And for Brian, priceless memories of a childhood dream realized.
We'll never forget it. It's definitely the dream come true. Just fishing, on these big boats is my dream, and now it's a fairy tale almost.
Congratulations, Brian, and to the captain and crew of the Shelley 2. Coming up next, your chance to win this Perception Sound 10 kayak package from Survival Products. We'll show you how to enter. And still to come, wildlife photographer Kevin Fleming stops by. See our national symbol like never before. But first,
did you know the spiny box puffer has a mouth strong enough to crush clamshells and coral on which it feeds?
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva, everyone. I'm Mike Parker. Right now it's time to show you our product of the week. This is where we show you some of the coolest products out there right now designed to get you outdoors. And joining me today is Joe Pagliaro with Survival Products. How you doing, Joe?
Good, Mike. How are you?
Survival Products right here in Salisbury. And Joe, show us what we have here in front of us.
Well, we have a 10-foot Perception Sound 10 kayak, extremely stable kayak. We're looking at about a width of 30 inches, which is going to play in the stability of it. Weighs about 40 pounds, so extremely light and stable. First I'd like to talk about is the actual hull design of this kayak. Because it's got the 30 inches and it's a nice flat bottom kayak, it's going to give us excellent stability. The secondly I'd like to talk about is the actual tri-keel that we have here, which is a little different than most kayaks. This tri-keel is going to give us a nice steady platform for entry and exit of this boat, and it also plays in the tracking of this kayak, which allows the boat to go nice and straight. Thirdly, and most importantly, is obviously going to be a nice seating system. And this kayak has it all. It's got a nice good high backrest with plenty of padding here to support the lower and upper back. And then of course you have a nice padded bottom right here.
I see you have some other products here too inside the kayak, and I understand they're part of a package deal here at Survival Products.
Yes, Mike. The package deal on this particular kayak is $399.95. It comes with a one-size-fits-all APF, or what we call a life jacket. Nice and breathable, nice good visible colors here. It fits anybody that's 90 pounds on up. Very open, so it's going to be very breathable, especially during this heat wave. And also I have a nice good lightweight aluminum paddle. The weight on this is pretty light, and it's got a nice good curvature to the blade and also a stiff design, so this is going to give us a good entry into the water and also a clean exit as we lift up for our next stroke.
Well, now that you've seen it, you want it, and here's your chance to win it.
Willie, tell them how to enter.
To enter to win this Perception Sound 10 kayak package from Survival Products, send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to Outdoors Delmarva, care of WBOC-TV, 1729 North Salisbury Boulevard, Salisbury, Maryland, 21801. Just one postcard does it all, and you're entered for this week's giveaway, and you'll stay in the running to win other products featured in the future.
coming up on Outdoors Delmarva, Chopper 16 takes flight. For a view of one local waterway from a unique vantage point, discover the Pocomoke River.
Plus, your viewer photos still ahead when Outdoors Delmarva returns. But first,
did you know? A short fin mako shark can leap as high as 20 feet out of the water.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Captain Willie Dykes. When I'm piloting Chopper 16, we get to show you parts of Delmarva you just can't see any other way. And that includes a unique vantage point on the area's deepest river.
If you really need to get away, not just from home or work, but from civilization entirely, go to the Pocomoke River in Worcester County. It flows through a swamp that's so ornery it's never been tamed. A canoe or kayak is best for gliding through this tunnel of green with wildlife and wildflowers close enough to touch on either hand. You could be anywhere, Africa or Costa Rica or the Okefenokee. The sights and sounds of the modern world disappear as the treetops close in together over the winding channel, and that peace and quiet you've been craving is deep and wide.
The Pocomoke is a perfect example. Some things are just best seen from the air. Mike, back to you.
Thanks, Willie. Well, when you spend as much time out in the woods as I do, you can start to take things for granted. For instance, it's rare that just one tree really stands out from the rest. Then again, some do. And as I found out, there's a list for that.
It's not a bad looking tree. I make notes if the trees are very attractive.
To help me understand the world of big trees, I met up with Kathy Kroner, a Maryland State Forest Ranger in Pocomoke County. With measuring tape in hand, we located one of the biggest trees within our view.
Okay, the first measurement we get is the circumference of the tree.
And gave it a physical.
This is a D tape. One side it has the diameter and the other side it has regular measurement.
As official tree measuring goes, a proper measurement is always taken at 4.5 feet from where the tree meets the ground, known as diameter breast height.
So this tree is 8 foot around.
But how do you actually know if a tree is really big enough to be considered special? And what do you even do with information like that?
This is a plaque on the Maryland Big Tree program that was given to Buckingham Presbyterian Church.
Well, right here is your answer.
It's a longleaf pine.
In January of 2003, this 75-foot-tall longleaf pine in Berlin, Worcester County, was officially recognized as the biggest in the entire state. Since being with the church on whose property the big tree lives, Sally Kohler has been one of its admirers and caretakers and keepers of its mysterious history.
Supposedly planted by the original owner of the home. He was a lumberman, and they felt that he brought the young tree from somewhere in the south, where it is native.
Homeowners really like it. They get a certificate, and they're very proud of their trees. It doesn't make the tree exempt from normal tree things that could happen to trees. You can still cut the tree down.
But even a state champion can be a bit of a nuisance every once in a while. After all, when you're that big, you let off some pretty big pine needles.
There are some who like it, and there's some who really are not fond of it.
No matter how you look at it, Delmarva's fertile soil has been good for other champion trees too. Take a look at this view from Chopper 16 of a huge swamp chestnut oak in Kent County outside of Chestertown. At over 350 years old, it's the oldest of its kind in the entire U.S. As for the random loblolly pine,
so it would be 105 feet.
But it's no state champ, or even county champ for that matter. But maybe in a few years we'll check again, you know, just for good measure.
And to learn more about the big tree programs where you live, check out the Outdoors Delmarva section of WBOC.com. Still to come on Outdoors Delmarva, the bald eagle like you've never seen it before. Photographer Kevin Fleming shares images of wild Delmarva when we come back. Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker.
And I'm Captain Willie Dykes. You know, when you're flying above Delmarva, you share the skies with some incredible wildlife, including the majestic bald eagle.
And from what you've told me, eagles have made a pretty big comeback.
Yeah, Chuck and I see them nearly every day.
That is great. Well, this week, photographer Kevin Fleming has the proof in pictures in a feature we call Wild Delmarva.
Photographing bald eagles for me is really special. I remember as a child growing up in Kent County, Delaware, if we saw one eagle ever, we would talk about it for days because they were so rare. DDT and essentially no management had threatened the bald eagle that it was almost wiped off the peninsula. Now, I go out on the salt marsh or freshwater rivers and I can find eagles pretty much every day, and sometimes in numbers as high as 10, and the most I've seen in any one time in my sight is 40 bald eagles right in front of me at one time. And I find that a wildlife success story. It's just such a majestic bird. Ben Franklin wanted the wild turkey as our national symbol, but he didn't win out on that one. What people may not know about them is they're scavengers, but they are fishermen also, and that's when I like to catch them, like the bald eagle here with the walleye floating by. I was able to catch him just after he caught the walleye in the Susquehanna River at the top of the peninsula. This is after sunrise, but the sun is behind some clouds, so it's still lighting the clouds in kind of that really wonderful color. I saw one bald eagle sitting in a tree, and I thought, well, maybe there'll be another. And sure enough, another came and landed, and I was able to capture the moment just as the second bald eagle landed in the tree. You can go shoot bald eagles a lot, and like I say, it's sometimes better to be lucky than good.
Thanks, Kevin. Can't wait to see what you have for us next week.
Right now, it's time to share some of the photos submitted to us by our own Outdoors Delmarva viewers.
Brought to you by Branchie's Gun Shop.
Our first photo comes courtesy of Kenny and Julie Evans of Chrisfield. Seems this doe and her two fawns have become regular visitors around the rosebush in their backyard.
Well, we've been getting some good reports of red drum this season, and 12-year-old Holt Jahelka from Salisbury has the proof. He caught and released this whopper recently in the Chesapeake Bay off Port Charles, Virginia.
Here's something you don't see every day. Someone had some fun building this straw tractor along Route 13 near Pocomoke. Thanks to Reuben Evans of Chrisfield for sending it in.
Willie, you're going to like this one. Joey Melvin from Milford sent in this shot of a crop duster in action over a cornfield. Also sent in this shot of a nice little buck in velvet.
And viewer Linda Tharp from Laurel is a bird watcher. She sent in these shots of an indigo bunting and some goldfinches at the feeder, and also this family of killdeer nesting nearby.
Well, we love sharing all your viewer photos, so keep them coming. You can email me at mparker@wboc.com.
Well, Mike, it's been a great week of adventures, wouldn't you say?
It sure has, Willie. We'll have to do it again next week. For Captain Willie Dykes, I'm Mike Parker, reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.
Don't give me that rod. I know what's coming. Daryl, you're going to get the monkey. There's another cobia here. Put it right at her fish, right at her fish.